Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's very nice to see you again. I'm Jen, and I will be doing a little bit of tarot reading again. Mostly, I go over the cards to kind of see what some of those inner meanings are for each one of the cards. And it's a good way to kind of pick apart a card when you typically will be moving in and around a reading rather than specifically about that particular card. So this is kind of a fun way to break that card down. So without further ado, the card that was picked for today is Justice, is one of the major arcana cards. Justice is number 11 in the series of the upper or major arcana cards. They are kind of the power cards. They're also the cards that were removed from the deck when we went to a standard playing card deck. I tend to mention this a lot, that our standard playing cards are built off of the tarot deck. What we lost, save for the Fool, is the major arcana, and we kind of shifted some of the minor suits as well. So we're going to kind of go into that a little bit today too, because she's got a symbol of one of the minor suits. What I find in the major arcana is that they're a lot more powerful cards. They are a lot more powerful cards. So what they do is they're really a aspect of human nature. They're an aspect of who we are or the journey that we go on. At some point, I'll probably do a big thing about the hero's journey, but they are out there. If you're looking for something about tarot that talks a little bit about how it connects to the hero's journey, which being a writer, I've got a big connection with that too. It's like, yeah, everything is cyclical and everything is the hero's journey, and I totally can see it. But Justice is one of those. Justice is kind of the mid-level of that circle. So being 11, it's about halfway through. So Justice kind of is that, it's clear. It is about justice. It's about either vengeance, getting what you deserve, or kind of doling out maybe what you deserve to other people. And you can see in this, again, she's depicted, and I say she, most of the characters in this deck are pretty androgynous looking, but when they lean more female, I'll say they're she, and if they lean more male, I'll probably say male. That said, the major arcana cards, there's some flow in there. So she's holding in one hand the symbol of justice, which is the scales, and in the other hand she has the sword of justice, which it kind of goes back to those medieval times and the ancient times of when somebody did you wrong, you kind of took their head. Very Game of Thrones kind of stuff too, I think about. That was a lot in there. Spoiler alert, people lose their heads a lot. The sword is also representative of one of the lesser suits that we were talking about. So you have the swords, the rods, the cups, and the coins, or the pentacles. The swords are the element of air. So they are movement, they are action, they are really kind of taking emotion and making them real. So while water is emotion and it's everything that's going on inside us, the action of sword is, I have this passion, I have this desire, I have this push to do something, I'm gonna go do it. I also kind of look at swords as like the jocks of the tarot deck. That's just me. I'll go into that too. I have some weird things that I talk about with the lesser suits. But what this tells me is that this is a card of action. This is a card of something is physically going to happen because of this. There is some spirituality to it in the sense of like finding that justice, finding that inner peace, and that sort of thing. But a lot of times it's a very material world sort of justice. So I look at her and go, okay, she's clearly a very dominant person. She's a very honorable person. This is somebody that is in control and in command. What I find interesting about this one, when I break down kind of the background, again, I like to go into what's behind the character themselves. So behind her is kind of this purplish curtain, which again, to me, brings it to sort of that Roman Empire sort of feeling of royalty. Other royalty also had purple, but justice the forums, things of that nature. That is Rome. That is the power. That is the justice of Rome. That curtain is hanging between two, what look like marble pillars, stone pillars, whatever that may be. What I noticed with this is that her posture and the background behind her is very similar to the Hierophant. And we'll get to the Hierophant soon. The Hierophant, also known as the High Priestess, I think in this deck it's the High Priestess. She is more the spiritual side of this. So I look at Justice as being sort of the physical sister of the Hierophant. The Hierophant deals with the spirituality side of things, and she deals with the physical world. So that's just my take on it. I look at it and I go, oh, that's really interesting. I look at the dress that she's sort of wearing, or kind of the armor or hood that she's wearing in this, and I see it's got the diamonds in it, which diamonds, again, that has to do with the coins and the pentacles. So I kind of look at that and go, oh, well, look, we've got another one of the lesser arcana, lesser suits, fitted into this storyline of this picture. So it's trying to kind of take from both. What I also notice is that it could be just the way the artist does it, but I noticed that in the scales, at least, kind of the way the taper is of those scales is a little bit indicative of the cups of that suit and the way the goblet handle, the stem of that is. They are not goblets, they are just little cups that are holding at the scales, the either side of the scale. But to me, the stem of it and the fulcrum point and all that kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of it. So I like to look at that as a nice way of kind of bringing in the different elements that the different suits represented in this. Which, again, if you look at it, you've got cups. There's a lot of emotion when it comes to doling out justice. You do have to kind of think with your heart a little bit. You can't just dole out justice plain and flat and black and white. We live in a very shades of gray world. So I look at that and I say, okay, well, this is justice in the sense of like, I'm going to take to heart what is going on and what is really happening and some of the things that I feel about it. And as well, I'm going to use that sword and take action for what I'm feeling. It's not sitting back and feeling those emotions and swallowing them down and not dealing with them. It's, I've got a problem and I want to fix it. And it can be a problem with others. It can also be a problem within yourself. Do you feel guilt? Do you feel bad? Do you have some kind of things that maybe you need to be working on yourself? So I look at justice and I say, okay, she's external world. She's about you getting your just desserts or doling out those just desserts to others. But it's also about finding that peace within yourself, releasing the guilt, saying, look, yes, that happened, but it doesn't mean I've got to live with it the rest of my life. It means I've got to get past it, grow from it, and see what justice is doling out from my sentence. I just now realized that I'm wearing a shirt that says, I roll with a bitch named Karma. I think this is really interesting. So you never know what's going to happen. I'll try to get a good picture of my shirt at some point. It's just a funny thing. Anyway, so yes, justice, karma, that's really what she represents, is that kind of global consciousness karma of like, this happened, and so now this is going to happen. There are a lot of people that kind of debate what karma is. So I'm going to give you my perspective. Feel free in the comments to tell me that I'm totally off the wall bonkers and this is not the way it goes. I do not feel that karma is about other people. I feel like karma is about the self and the lessons the self learns. So justice to me really is that card of karma in the sense that when you leave this life, you will be charted and things will go down, and this was the quiz, and you get to say, okay, well, this is what I learned, and I guess I've got to go back and learn this lesson. So what you do in this life will affect your next life. not necessarily the lives of other people, and not necessarily how you react when things happen to you. So it's not, oh, so and so did me wrong, so I hope they're going to get some karma. It might have been part of their karma to do you wrong. Because it's really possible that you said, okay, I might have done them wrong last time, so let's give them a space to do me wrong this time. Because again, when you look at it from a really broad perspective, what we see as slights and badness and things that have happened to us, really in the grand scheme of things, in that great big cosmic wheel in the sky, it's really how we want to learn a lesson. We made this ourselves. We said, okay, this is the game I want to play, and these are the rules I want to play it with. So we made this. We wrote this book. We wouldn't have something bad happen to us necessarily unless we really wanted to learn that angle. To some degree, that's a good way to look at how things happen to you as well. So when thinking about dealing out justice, when thinking about the guilt you might have about an injustice, think about how that lesson is meant to be learned. It's something you are kind of put on this planet to get through, because we are all energy and it's all going to come back around anyway, and you're kind of just seeing the world from different sides. In a lot of ways, and we can get really philosophical on that one, you're doing to yourself through other people. But I'm not going to go into that. To finish up with justice and really take a look at that hero's journey part of this, we'll start putting together what cards come before and after in another video. There's way too much to go into with that. But really look at it and see what justice does is puts us in the position to have the next thing happen to us or have the next experience in our hero's journey. So think of justice as one more stepping stone and one more move to make. Because again, it's swords, so therefore there's action. There's movement of some kind, because air is movement. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you next time, and if you want more information on tarot cards or reading, or my new book that's kind of about all this stuff of linking technology and the spiritual, please check out the comments and check out the data in the little field there. And I will see you next time. Bye.